Nature is, well, all around us. It's the things you see, the things you touch, the things you smell, and the things you hear. But today we're talking about the nature of something specific, namely this new BMW M240i. Now this car's predecessor, the M235i, actually won Inside Lane's Car of the Year a couple of years ago, so naturally I'm very keen to see what this new coupe is all about. Let's kick off with the way it looks, because I think it is truly handsome. Many cars look rather dull in silver, but this car's sharp body creases and vents and grills and large kidney openings, I think they just serve to fill what is a good canvas. The silver and, well, the way the shadows fall on it at least, exaggerate the shapes very, very well, and I think it adds to that sporting nature of the car. You can really see what the designers were doing. It's that classic long bonnet, short rear overhang, coupe profile that we know and love, and BMW have just detailed it with their characters. So I've mentioned the kidney grills, you've got these subtle creases in the bonnet. The thing I quite like about this is that it strikes very good balance between clearly a sporting machine, but also something that you could park up in the car park and, you know, it blends into a certain degree. Now what doesn't blend in is what's under the bonnet of this car. It's a 3-litre turbocharged engine producing 335 brake horsepower and 369 pounds-feet of torque. Now let's just digest that a moment and think back to the BMW M1, proper M car, and this starts to put it in a bit of a shadow. 0 to 62 miles per hour in this 6-speed manual car is done and dusted in 4.8 seconds, and it's electronically limited to 155 miles per hour. Clearly the new M240i is not a slow car, but before we get on to the really exciting stuff, let's tick the slightly more boring boxes. The interior seats 4, there's plenty of light being let in by lots of glass, and it has a really nice fit and finish, as you come to expect with BMW. Yes, I will say the centre console is starting to look dated, but this car is equipped with BMW's rather excellent iDrive, which is just one of the best infotainment systems out there, and I really like the widescreen display that they offer here. That's all controlled by this touchpad and scroll wheel down here. Up front you'll find a pair of very supportive leather seats. Now they're sporty, they've got some good bolstering to them, but there's also a good level of comfort, which is really important whenever you're going to be sat in this car for lengthy periods of time. Rear seats, absolutely fine for children, but maybe a lack of leg and headroom makes it more of an occasional use for adults. Positioned just ahead of some nice clear analogue dials is a really nice chunky 3-pronged sports steering wheel. Now with the mundane stuff out of the way, should we have some fun? I think so. The heart of this BMW provides a really good shove in the back, because not only does it have a decent amount of power, but that torque from the turbo really does get things underway in a very, very immediate fashion. You get sucked back into your seat, you get this nice chorus from the engine, and yeah, it just paints a smile upon your face, and that's before you even get to the first sequence of bends. Heel and toe down a gear, pitch the car in, and it just homes in on the apex of a corner. It's a really pointy setup to this chassis, and it just absolutely grips and goes. The rear wheel drive providing a really nice balance to the chassis. The steering it's got some good feedback, and this 6-speed manual transmission is pretty good as well actually. As you thread your way through the bends, you can build up a very natural rhythm with the car. It's absolutely a driver's machine. There's plenty of communication coming back into the cockpit, and it's one of these cars that just encourages you to maybe take the long way home and explore those B roads, because I tell you what, if this car were to just sit on your driveway and go around central London, it would be an utter waste. There's really good bite from the brakes, they're really easy to modulate too, it allows you to tailor the car a bit more into corners, and I just love how it just tucks right in. Now going along, there's a bit of tyre noise that comes into the cabin, and the ride is relatively firm, but to criticise it for these things is to totally miss the point of the car. That firm ride comes from its absolutely masterful body control through the corners. This car is just so intuitive to drive on challenging sets of roads. I love it. I think I'm going to drive this till this runs out of petrol, you know. And its turn of pace, it really, really picks up. God, you're doing some quite unquotable speeds. BMW have just got the details of this car right, from the feeling of the shift to the weighting of the steering wheel, and it's those little details that add up to make this, wow, this incredible package. I'm so impressed. It works with you, it wants to play, it wants to have a good time. And tell you what, if you prod that throttle at the penultimate moment, yes, things do get a bit exciting and a rather smoky tyre shredding party begins. BMW say that this car will emit 179 grams per kilometre and on your best behaviour will do 36 mpg. But odds are you're not going to be on your best behaviour in this car, are you? The BMW 240i builds upon the already delicious recipe of its predecessor. But better than that, better than having more performance, better than being a bit sharper to drive, better than having those enhanced visuals. At £35,090, it costs exactly the same as its predecessor. And if that isn't a bargain, I don't know what is. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for all of the latest and greatest cars to hit the road. For breaking news and written reviews, visit www.insidelane.co.uk.